On our ride back to school that evening, worries churned through my brain like hammerheads in a shark tank. Could Benny and I identify the haunting source without falling victim to it? Could Miss Ego's mysterious employer be behind all the monsters that had been showing up recently in Monte Rosa? Were my parents really fine, like Abuelita said, or were they teetering on the edge of the divorce? And would Hollywood ever make an Incredible Hulk movie that didn't sting like a vulture's lunchbox? This one had been bothering me for years. The sun was dipping over the horizon as we parked our bikes outside the mechanical room. Perfect, said Benny. We've got an hour to spend here before we have to be home for dinner. Good thing, I said. We're having chili rellenos tonight. I hate to miss it. Our conversation stayed light, but I could tell from his tone that Benny was as tense as I was. We unlocked the door and flipped on the light. After carefully surveying as much of the room as we could see from the threshold, we went inside. First things first, said Bunny. Hold up your phone and show the time. I obeyed. While Bunny angled his phone to take a selfie of us in the room, there's Tyler's proof, he said. Now for our equipment. Equipment? Unzipping his book bag, Bunny laid out a series of items on the cold concrete floor. Two black light flashlights, a half-dozen candles, a wooden cross, a plate, some rope, a fistful of gluten-free quinoa cookies. Don't ask. 3 apples, a Snickers bar, and 2 colas. Planning to spend the night? I said. Benny cleared his throat. A Boy Scout is always prepared. You are not a Boy Scout. He whipped off a quick salute, and I have, and I never let that stop me. I figure we set up the candles and offerings, just like Miss Freshly did. Turn off the overhead lights and use these two black light rigs to spot the ghosts. Benny held a flashlight under his chin for that jack-o'-lantern look. It's the real you, I said. They'll help us see ghosts that are invincible to others. Together we laid the food on the plates, stood the candles in a circle, and lit them. When Benny turned off the lights, I don't mind telling you the place was more than a little spooky. I miss the comfort of Mrs. T's presence. Let's give it a while and see what happens. After Benny, said Benny. We stood in the center of the circle, clutching our flashlights and peering around us. Time stretched. One of the boilers ticked. Benny fidgeted. The longer we stood there with nothing happening, the tighter my shoulders got. Benny gave a nervous chuckle and reached for a soda. Think the ghost would mind if I took a sip? It's supposed to be an offering, I said. Yeah, but ghosts don't have throats, and mine is parched. After a quick check around, he popped the top on the can and slapped some down, snagging the Snickers for good measure. That's Benny all over, ready to reach Supernatural Ralph for a snack. We waited for about 45 minutes until suspense had me ready to peel off my own skin. I switched on my flashlight. That's it. I'm taking a look around, I said. Lead on, said Benny, sticking close. Leaving the circle, we began to explore the maternity room. The massive boilers and other machines loomed above us, like glowing giants, while the ducts and pipes snaked away in the directions. No ghosts raised their heads, no supernatural beasties attacked us. Could the haunting have ended on its own? Hey, check this out, said Bunny, shining the flashlight on his face. Who struck the whitest teeth in fourth grade? His choppers glowed in the ultraviolet light like a mouthful of fireflies. I guess the sandpaper toothbrush really paid off, I said, relaxing a little. And of course, just when I started to relax, screech, 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 something started behind one of the boilers. I saw my flashlight that way and caught a glimpse of glowing blue-green. What the? My knees trembled. Rigid as steel underpants, Benny and I followed the phantom with flashlights held out like swords. Slowly, carefully, we peeked around the huge metal drum and came face to face with our ghost. But of course it wasn't a ghost. It was a hissing freak of nature. Whoa, cried Benny. That's just wrong, I said. The size of a jumbo pit bull, the creature was part lion, part scorpion, and entirely spooky. Its fangs dripped, its pincers clacked. The creature's armored backplates glowed in the black light like a swimming pool at night. Its scorpion tail swayed like an angry cobra. This thing meant business. Gah! I stumbled back, bumped into a pipe, and something behind me hissed. And that's when I learned that the creature had a mate, 4 feet away, whose tail was already in motion. Holy! My feet felt as heavy as cinder blocks. I tried to move, but down went the stinger, piercing my outflung hand. Ah! I cried. Benny rushed forward, shining his flashlight in the monster's eyes and stomping his feet. Yeah, get out of here, he yelled at it. Amazingly, it worked. The creature startled backwards on its cat paws, leaving us enough room to dash for the exit. My hand dropped, radiating pain. My legs were heavy and clumsy. I staggered after Bunny, and the journey back to our candlelight circle seemed to last longer than Christopher Columbus' voyage. Noticing I'd fallen behind, Bunny came back for me. Are you hurt? He said. Where did it get you? The hand, I mumbled. My tongue felt as thick as a chorizo sausage. Lean on me, Bunny guided me to the circle. Fire raced along my veins. My skin radiated heat. Even my eyeballs sizzled. Nightmare images flashed through my mind, one after the other, unstoppable. All my classmates in a coma lying side by side in the hospital, being banned from school for my failures. The Amazing Spider-Man comic book cancelled forever. Horrible, I muttered, gripping Benny's shirt. So horrible. What is? Said Benny. His voice seemed to come all the way from Connecticut in the tin box. But I couldn't find words. The images kept rolling like a runaway horror movie, seeming more real than the room around me. My dad losing his job, my sister crying, my parents getting divorced, me leaving Monte Rosa for good. A mean voice in my head said, You are responsible, this is all your fault. No, I cried. I tried to stop them, but they wouldn't listen. Benny paused just inside our candle circle. He lifted my hand. Uh-oh, he said. That thing looks infected. I tried to see what he was talking about, but my eyes wouldn't obey me. Naughty eyes, I thought fuzzily, send them to the corner without any supper. I'm gonna sterilize it, said Benny. He reached down and plucked something from the offering plate. All my fault, I mumbled. Couldn't keep them together. Despair sapped my strength. My eyes wanted to roll back in my head. I fought the urge. I wasn't ready to spend my life in a coma. And still, the vision came. I saw my mom and Veronica moving out of our house, and the weight of sadness nearly crushed me. At that same time, in real life, I saw Benny raising the taller trend. Some part of my mind said, silly Benny can't sterilize with soda. Hold still, he poured the fizzy liquid onto my wound. It was like dipping my hand in lava. I screamed. The pain swelled, 10 times worse than the sting itself. Gripping my wrist, I jackknifed in two. Dios mío, what? I choked out. Choose cola, choose life, said Benny. I figured if it can strip rust off the nails, it might help with the poison. Oddly enough, he seemed to be onto something, defeated by the all-consuming agony in my hand. The tide of visions ebbed. My eyes obeyed me again. The fever in my blood cooled. Give me that, I snapped. Snatching the soda, I poured half of what remained over my wounded hand and chugged the rest. As though I flipped a switch, the pain faded almost entirely. I was myself again. Are you okay? Said Benny. I slashed his upper arm with my uninjured hand. That hurt, I said, and thanks for saving me. Rubbing his shoulder, Benny said, You're welcome. Where are the Lopians? Lord, I've been so consumed by my pain, I've forgotten about the creature that stung me. We flashed our beams around the room and picked out the two monsters about 15 feet away, crouched and waiting, and my skin prickled as two more Scorp-Lions, Scorp-Lions, stepped forward from the shadows to join them. I tensed. You know that the candles won't stop them, right? Duh, said Benny. Keep your flashlight on them. I just need to do one thing. He brought up his phone and snapped a photo, saying, Cheese. Roar. The monsters roared in chorus, started by the flash. That was enough for us. Benny and I beat feet out of there like a Terminator himself on our heels.